Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and welcome to my channel about co-creation. Here I talk about how to successfully use co-creation processes such as hackathons, brainstormings and collaborative competitions to solve your scientific, technological and business challenges. And today I would like to introduce a very special category of videos. I will invite real R&D professionals, managers, university professors, all the different scientists and researchers, and we will talk with them about everything connected to collaboration, co-creation, innovations, breakthroughs, how to manage collaboration projects, how to increase chances to make breakthroughs, how to foster innovations, just about everything connected to R&D. And as this is the very first episode of these special videos, I had to invite a very special person. And my guest today is Dr. Christoph Appert. Christoph is an R&D professional with more than 30 years of experience. He graduated from ETH Zurich and he completed an executive MBA program in St. Gallen. Christoph started his career in 1994 in the dental industry. He has experience both in clinical research and in management of R&D teams. Christoph is a former VP, head of research of a public traded dental company. Finally, he founded 2 companies himself, and right now he's focused on consulting other businesses about intellectual property. You know, I consider myself a very lucky person because I had a chance to work with Christoph for a while, and it was an absolutely pleasant and very valuable experience for me. Today with Christoph, we will talk about intellectual property, the biggest challenges of this area and how companies can overcome them. We will also discuss the questions of IP in collaboration projects and the future of patents. Hello, Christoph. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation to join this conversation.
Hello, Lisa. Pleasure on my side.
Excellent. So I think I would like to start our conversation with talking about your background, your professional experience, and specifically why you decided to take this path in research and development.
Okay. So my background is biochemistry. I studied and did a PhD in biochemistry. So I was interested in interaction with humans, with diseases to cure them. So this was my main interest. And even before I went to university, I was always, I think, in mind or in my setup mindset, a researcher. So even when I was a small kid, I was very much interested in how things work, why, and I think I really disturbed my parents a lot because I asked a lot of questions to them. So this is what I'm interested in, and this is why I did this. And when I finished university, I joined a company that developed medical devices. So, in principally, a physical background to cure diseases such as eyeglasses, hearing aids, dental products. These are all medical devices. And since then, I've always worked for multinational companies developing medical devices in research. So I was always in research, and so this is why I got exposed to patents and patent rights and making money with patents and spending money on patents.
Yeah. So now you're mostly focusing exactly on intellectual property. And why did you decide at the end of the day to focus specifically on this area? Because I know that you also worked in clinical research, then you managed R&D teams, and you switched fully to these patents and intellectual property.
This was more or less by coincidence. So partners and clients I worked with, when I left a position, sometimes they contacted me and asked me if I could help them to develop their patents, their patent rights, to commercialize it. And at that time, I always had to say, no, I have more than a full-time job. I have unfortunately no time to help you. And I'm also linked to a company. So I dedicate my workforce to them. And so just by time, I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity just to leverage my experience, my almost 30 years of experience in dealing with innovation and protecting innovation and making money with innovation and helping smaller entities, individuals to protect their ideas and to make money from it. Because in this time when I was with multinational companies, I've seen a lot of potential partners that came to us and wanted to sell their innovations, and some did it really well and got a lot of money, and others really undersold their ideas. And from this big experience, I think I can help clients pretty well to get what they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also recently published a book actually about how to monetize these innovation ideas. And I know that quite a big part of it is dedicated to patents and.
Yeah. Yes. So this is just, I wanted to share, my know-how to people that are interested. On the other hand, it's just, let's say, some background information. So every project looks very different, and you cannot put it all in one book. So I think it's giving potential innovators a good background, but it will not be sufficient for them just to commercialize an idea.
Yeah, of course. But also, as we're talking about this book, I just want to mention that at the end of the video, we will announce a special surprise, special something that we prepared together with Christoph. Just stay tuned and we will announce it later. Getting back to intellectual property and your experience in this area, what do you think are the biggest challenges that companies face when it comes to patents?
There are several challenges. The one is looking from the company is you have an innovation, you have a know-how, and the question is how much of this know-how you are disclosing by filing a patent. And because it's to file a patent, you need to explain how this innovation works, how you produce it, and this may also help competitors to follow your path. And here you need to think as a company, how much do you really want to disclose, and how much do you want to keep as your secret. And I think it's whatever you can measure or determine on the final product, you should protect. Because this is today no problem to retro-engineer such an innovation. On the other hand, special production methods or equipment you are using to produce a product which is not obvious on the end product, I would recommend this to keep it as a company secret. And this is the decision if you want to disclose it or not. There, one very famous example is the Coca-Cola formula. Of course, they could have patented it at that time, but after 20 years, this patent would have been expired, and so everybody could copy it. They have chosen, on the other hand, to keep it as a company secret, and as far as I know, only I think 4 people within Coca-Cola know the exact formula of beverage. And this is one question that is always in discussion within companies. Should you patent it and disclose some information, or should you keep it as a company secret? I think this is one important. Another part that is very important for companies is if the innovation can be patented at all, because there are already millions of patents out there, and you can only patent things that are novel and get disclosed. And there to find the niche that you still could patent, where you could protect, where you could claim your area is very difficult to find, because the structures of patents is not totally in an engineering setup. It's text, and sometimes you may miss patents that are already there, and then you spend years to have it developed, patent, and then once you launch the product, you find out that the competitor has already a protection there, and you are infringing his patents. And this is another topic that companies have to look for.
I don't know, it's difficult for me to imagine how to kind of what is the potential solution for this challenge? I mean, is there any way to kind of mitigate the influence of this challenge? Like, can you, I don't know, hire a professional maybe who can help you to do this job and find this niche?
I think for a company that is already a long time in the business, this is easier because they know their area pretty well, and they have patent experts that have been for years or even decades within the company, so they know the patent landscape pretty well. For a small company that is entering a new field, or an individual inventor, this is very difficult, because it's the patent landscape out there is huge. It's really huge, and there I would recommend to hire or to give this task to an external company that can do such a research. It's freedom to operate. This is the key word there, and there are some pretty good companies out there that can be hired at a decent rate. They normally work out of low salary countries such as India, and they deliver pretty good quality. However, you need to define pretty well what you're looking for. And I've made a good experience with some of those companies. Other companies, they just serve free serve. Principally, they don't deliver what you expect. But this is the thing you can do as an individual or as a small company, as a startup, to find out if there is already something that you would infringe.
That's clear. Thank you. Let's talk about intellectual property in collaboration projects.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically when it comes to companies when they work with academia, because it's quite a difficult topic. The university wants to own a patent at the end of research. The company wants to own the patent at the end. But if we are talking about the companies, what are the ways for them, for the business to secure the patent? What the company can offer to a university to get it?
So I think companies, especially, I know it's all kind of companies, they are seeking collaboration with universities, with academia, because they don't have the capacity to do all the research, to solve all their innovation problems they have. And The universities, on the other side, they're interested to work on real world problems. They don't want to just do research for their own without a purpose. So this is both sides. They are looking for collaborations. And there, I think it's very important that the companies very clearly state before they start the collaboration how this deal would work. And ideal for a company is, of course, that they own the patent, they have the patent rights, and that the universities are focusing on publishing, because this is what they need for their careers. And of course, this is not for free. So if the company don't want to own the patents, research collaboration would be cheaper. But if the company decides that it's very important for them to keep the patent rights exclusively or non-exclusively, this will, of course, increase the costs. But there, I think it's important to make it very clear from the beginning what you want and what's in for the university. And of course, the university is interested in receiving some funding. This is important. They want to publish it. There are also other benefits for universities. For instance, exposure to industrial partners, maybe also job opportunities for their students, internships, etc. And this is very important to make it very clear, very transparent before you start the collaborations. Once the collaboration was successful and an innovation developed that can be protected, it's too late to start the negotiations, because then the university is really has more power, and it will take a long time, and also will be very costly to negotiate this.
Yeah.
On the other hand, from my experience, is if you are going not for the, let's say, the top 100 universities worldwide, so the Harvards, the MITs, Cambridge, you name it, these universities are more open and more flexible for deals. And also those universities, in my opinion, have maybe a closer connection to the real world, because these top universities normally they are not looking for real world innovations. They're looking for Nobel Prizes and basic research, whereas the smaller, more applied universities have very bright students, very bright academia that really can solve real-world problems. And I've made personally a very good experience with it. I would call them the mid-sized, mid-reputation universities, and there are thousands out there of those, if you look on a worldwide basis.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. And like, as you know, based on our experience with Ainu, who also that's what I saw, and it's quite difficult to work with top universities. They always have their own terms and conditions. But the ones, even European universities, but the ones that companies are not really aware of, they are hardworking, and it's much easier to find an agreement with them. I agree with that. But also, like, it's not always necessary for the company to file a patent at the end of research, right?
Yeah, that's true. No, it's one way to protect your innovation, and I think companies, as I mentioned in the beginning, have to think if they would keep it as a company secret or to protect it. And there are also other ways to protect your innovation. But I would never go with an innovation without any protection. Because if you're not successful with an innovation, so nobody will copy you. But imagine that you are really successful with an innovation, with product, of course, not the innovation itself. It's always about the product, the solution. Then in today's world, everybody would copy you. And personally, I've experienced this with one startup. They had a really an excellent product, an excellent idea. It was a combination of a product and a service, and they invested, I would say, 4 or 5 years before they went to the market and offered their solution. Then they worked for another 2 or 3 years really to bring it to success, and it was very successful. They did it without any external investors. They really did it with bootstrapping, so they invested their own money. When they earned money, they invested it again. They paid themselves very low salaries, and they were pretty successful because customers liked their product. But then also others realized, oh, this is a market that may be interested, and principally within 18 months, they were totally overwhelmed by competition that just copied them. And the real bad thing was that they had no protection. And so they had a product that you really could understand pretty fast. And on the other hand, they had excellent, I would say, marketing and explanatory material for potential customers. And those competitors, they just copied everything. They even took the FAQs from the homepage and used it one to one. And this really innovative company that did all the work, did pay themselves low salaries. In the end, were out of business because they lost the customers. The others, they had much more money. They could rapidly enter the market. They could spend a lot of money in marketing that the other company could not do, and they took everything. And so I think it's very, very important that you protect your innovation. And otherwise, if successful, others will take your, I think, well-deserved success, and you will stay there with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really sad story to hear.
Yeah.
You work so hard and you come up with something completely new and then you just lose it.
Yeah. And of course there are other ways to protect your I would say your innovation, but those are sometimes you either can be very fast, so you really take all the market, but to be able to do this, you need a lot of money. So you need very potential investors, potent investors that have a lot of money that you can grow really fast, or you have a very, very unique service that cannot be copied, or you have a very, very specific product that is very difficult to manufacture. So I think here of fine mechanics, for instance, like things that are in watches or in medical devices that are really difficult to manufacture. Or you can be at the price point that is so competitive that nobody can enter it. There are some companies out there that really decide from the beginning that they go very, very low with their price point and then go with volume. This is also protecting others to enter. But if you go the classical way with an innovation and good explanatory, good support to the customers and grow slowly, there is a very high risk that in case of success, you are erased by competition that has much more money.
Yeah, I hope that everyone who is listening to us will take these words and they will protect their inventions. But also talking about startups and for enterprises, for large companies, another way to obtain a patent is just by a startup together with the patents? In which cases will it make sense?
I think a startup normally is focused on one single solution, one single product, or one single problem to be solved. It's not that a startup has already a portfolio of different products, a portfolio of different solutions. So if you as a mid or larger size company see that there is a startup out there that has an innovation that could be more successful together with you, because you may have the reach, you may have the finance to push it faster, then a startup may really be a good solution to acquire it, to participate in it, to take a share of 30 to 40%, which allows you to control in principle the company. This could be a good solution. But it's not just the invention you acquire or the patents, it's an organization. And in my experience, often the startups, if they are acquired, they slowly die within a bigger corporation, because this is a totally different setup. Startups, they tend to work most of the time with products, with clients, but once they are joining a bigger organization, they have to spend so much time with administration, paperwork, reporting, meetings, and this is really killing the small organization. So it's, I think, successful corporations have understood how to manage these smaller entities that they're acquired, but from my experience, in most cases, this goes wrong. So it's two totally different worlds, and maybe sometimes it's better just to take a small stake as a big company in a startup and to let it develop on their own until they are coming to a size where they are compatible with a bigger corporation.
Yeah, that's clear.
Mm.
Well, another case, that's quite a rare case in general in the industry, when you have a collaboration project, a research project
Mm.
with multiple stakeholders,
Mm.
with
Yeah.
multiple parties.
Mhm.
For example, the company, they do their research project and they invite a couple of universities and maybe a
Mhm.
startup, and how to deal with the patent in such cases.
I think this is, as you said, a rare case, because normally companies focus on a single problem they want to solve with a single university, a single academic partner. And some problems, however, need more brain power, more thinking out of the box. And there it's advisable to have several academic partners working on such a problem. And this will, on the one hand, speed up the whole process, because you have not just one chance, you have several chances to solve it. And if you set it up in a nice way, there is also a competition between the different universities, and this is motivating them even harder to get to a solution, and this is further speeding up the solution finding process. And so this is, I think it's very advisable, especially for bigger companies, to work with several universities on a single problem in parallel, and even more advisable to let them work together. And if I mean work together means they know about each other, they also compete but collaborate on the same at the same time. And to set this up, I would say this really is a masterpiece or needs a mastermind to set this up in a way that everybody is happy and motivated, and on the other hand also gets the right compensation for it. I cannot explain this here in 5 or 10 minutes how to do this, but I really would recommend two companies to do this because I think this is really beneficiary, and it's just this wisdom of the crowd that you can use much better. And we all know that the wisdom of the crowd is unbeatable. It's really if you work with 3 universities, you are not just getting 3 times better results or 3 times faster results, it's 10 times. And if you work with 10 universities, it's not 100, it's 500. So this really gets exponential. But to manage such a collaboration, such a competition, such cross-fertilization, this is really mastery.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like if you get a solution at the end of such a process, and in this solution, a few parties contributed into this solution, how do you deal with the patent in this case? How you manage this?
I think this is very individual on the solution you find. Normally, a patent has one innovation in it and one problem to solve. You cannot just do a patent with all different kind of innovations in. So one innovation, one patent. And even if you work in a bigger setup, there may be different innovations that are leading to the solution. And so maybe you can do a patent with one university and another patent with another university. And I think in very rare cases, the innovation really comes from 2 universities or 3. It may be that a university was supportive, that it helped them with an idea, with an input, with a feedback, or with doing some measurement work, some development work, which the one university that had the idea could not do on themselves. But I think in such a case, most of the times it will be several patents that can be clearly attributed to one or the other academic partner. And maybe in really, really rare cases, they may be 2 groups that contributed equally to the solution, and then they file it together. But this is, again, then a complex case. But from my experience, this is really, really very rare. And it's like that.
That's clear. That's clear. Thank you.
I think this is not the biggest problem you have in those collaborations. It's
definitely.
It's other challenges there you have to solve. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But okay, so well, imagine we have the end of the project and the company files a patent, but not all the patents go into production, right? Not all the patents are connected to the final product that the company will sell on the market. Do you have any statistics? Does it exist in general, these statistics? What is the percentage of patents that the company actually uses, meaning implements in their production?
So from the companies that I worked with, I know that more than 90% of the patents they are filing are never used. And so these numbers may sound very high because it's a lot of time and money that is spent to make those developments. But you have to understand that at the time when a company is doing research to the time where it's having a product that can be brought to market, there may be 5-10 years in between, and you cannot predict the future. Exactly, there may be competition that came out with a different product that is solving the problem much better, or the market may have moved. Maybe you no longer need a telephone that is wired, it's all wireless, and so those patents then just or those innovations just have no longer usage. So this is one reason why companies are using only fraction of the patents they own. A second one is you sometimes also like to have patents to protect competition to use something that can be close or come close to the solutions you have on the market. So you are claiming an area around your existing products to avoid that competition is entering this. So even if you don't use it, it hinders competition to come close to you, to compete with you in your very special area. And then there is a third reason why companies are keeping patents even though they are not using it, and this is as a bargaining for bargaining. So it's sometimes competition is coming to you and tells you, I know you have a patent there, because patents are published, so you can freely see them, and I would have interest to acquire these patents or to take a license. And because this is a competitor of yours, you can also talk to this company and say, yeah, I'm willing to share this IP with you, but I want to have some IP rights that is hindering my developments. And then you can start to negotiate, and without paying anything, you get some rights from them and they get some rights from you. And this may be very beneficial. And I've seen this multiple times, that you really use this for bargaining. And I know also that very big corporations such as Apple have done this in the past, that they gave some IP rights to others in exchange for innovations that they had. And then this is not a single patent, of course. In case of Apple, there is maybe 1,000 or 5,000 patents that are exchanged or where licenses are given. Mm-hmm. And of course, some of those patents after 3-4 years show that there is no value for them as a company, and then they just drop it. They are not continuing it. And but still, once it's published, nobody else could file again a patent, so nobody else could hinder you to use this technology, but also you as a company have decided not to use it exclusively and avoid those costs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's clear. Mm-hmm. Well, as we are starting talking about money anyway, mm-hmm. So yeah, when the company, as you said, the company spends lots of money to mm-hmm. Develop, to obtain a patent, to file a patent. So how do you make money out of the patent apart from implementing it into the production? So basically using in your products. Mm-hmm. Also, you mentioned licensing, some other ways.
Yeah. So I think it's this licensing, royalties. This is a main source for income. If I think you have to see there a little bit, or to distinguish who is the owner. If you are a big company and you want to sell a patent, then I think licensing is a good solution, because you have to maintain the patent during the whole period, and also to manage the license flow. However, if you are a small company or an individual inventor, it may be better to sell the patent, including the license. So the patent really is transferred to the new owner. Because for you as an individual or as a small company, the cost to maintain it and to manage the license flow, is very cumbersome and is expensive.
Is it easy to sell a patent for an individual or a small company?
Yes, it's possible because there's a market for it, and in principle you know more or less who are the potential buyers. You can contact them and talk to them. Of course, as an individual or as a small company, you may not have the right experience or the right information to sell it, to set up a contract that really gives you the money that you deserve. And then I would advise to get some professional help in doing those things. But there are some companies out there that help you selling a patent and letting you get some money for your brain work.
Thank you so much, Christoph. Future of intellectual property. How do you think this area will develop?
So, on the one hand, I think innovation gets more and more important. It's already now very important for any company because it's innovation that separates you from competition. And what separates you from competition is one important element to make you successful as a company. Innovation also allows you to have customers pay you more for your product because it's better compared to competition. And this protection of your innovation allows you to keep a competitive pricing. If you don't have any protection, others will come in and this will level out, and so the margins will go down. This is the natural way. And I think innovation is already very important for any company, even if you work in service side. I think it's very important to have innovation and to develop, because today you find every product, every service, you find it in the internet. You can compare it and you see where your USPs are, or others have the USP. So I think innovation is always important. The protection with patents, however, this is already a long history. It's already hundreds of years or hundreds, it's 200 years where you can file patents, and patents are still based on this history, how they were developed and how they are filed. It's all very paper based still, and the innovation is still hand drafted in images, and the process is you file it and then you have to wait for sometimes, and then an expert is looking at it. I think the whole process is very ancient and loaded with history, and also if you look at the patent, it still looks very paper based, and the metadata which is behind it, you don't find it sometimes on the patent. You have to look in a database, who is owning now the patent, what was changed, and all those things. I think this is pretty historic. And personally, I would like to see a different way of patent protection, where you do it all digital and much faster, and also allow others to comment on it and to early identify possible infringements, and also to include the sales component in the patent. So if somebody is interested in a patent that already he or she could see on the patent, this patent would be available for licensing, and they could, for instance, place an offer. Today, this is a very tedious process that is very paper-based. You have to look at the patent, who is the current owner, and then you have to contact that owner, and then maybe after 2 months you find out, oh, this owner is not at all interested to give any license.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would rather like to see it in a more digital way. Maybe as you do today, domain claimings, and you can, if you no longer use a domain, you can sell it. All this is very transparent. You see who is the owner. In principle, you can immediately put it to the platform to make it available to others. You can put there a price range and you can buy it within seconds. Whereas on patents, this is a very tedious process. And from my experience, from the day you are interested in acquiring a patent until you really can acquire it, and when you know the price, this is a half a year time frame in between.
Yeah, that's quite a long time, especially in nowadays world when another company can just quickly just do this and find this innovation themselves.
And maybe as a startup or as a small company, you even have not the money to survive for 6 months. So it's you really have to be fast, and you need to know if you can launch a product, or if you're infringing a patent of a competitor, or if you can acquire a patent and to safeguard your business idea.
Mm-hmm.
Or to motivate investors to give you more money, to give you more time to launch it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One more question on this side, because we all know how fast AI is going and is developing. I know that there are lots of concerns when it comes to AI that are connected to patents. How do you think this development of AI might influence the future of intellectual property?
I think this is very positive for everybody. It's positive for individuals, it's positive for small and also for larger companies, because it helps you to find answers, to get information on problems, on issues you're having. On the other hand, it's not replacing the individual person. It's you still need to be able to formulate the challenge, the right question, and then to tailor the answer to translate it in the way you need it. So I think this is helping and speeding up innovation process and also all other processes. Unfortunately, I think it will be again the same the same individuals that will be successful, that have been successful without AI. It's the same that are successful with the AI, because they are the bright and the clevers, and they will be able to be faster, to deliver faster. And it will not be that AI is replacing an individual, but it will be that an individual that knows a lot about AI and knows a lot about to use it, that is replacing somebody that is not so savvy with it. And so I think this is very positive, and it offers opportunities, and to the ones that know how to use it. And it's not that you can read a book and then you know how to use it. It's as with a language, you need to practice, and you need to learn with it. And for innovation in particular, I think it will help you to find what is already around. But it will not give you the information what is not yet there, or what was not yet developed. And innovation is, unfortunately or fortunately, a new thing. So you are developing something that is not yet around there. You go into an area where nobody has been, and AI is not helping you there, because AI can only scroll the information that is around. And unfortunately, on not yet made innovation, there is no information around. You really go into a room or into an area where nobody has been before, and the innovative process itself will not be speeded up, only in a way that you can faster get access to information that is already developed, that is already around, that is in the public domain. But there, it helps a lot, and also to structure this information in the right way. This is my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, thank you, Christoph.
Mm.
And the last but not the least, do you believe there will be this bright moment when all the companies will just share all their patents, everything that they have, and they will share it with each other, with the society, so that everyone can benefit from it?
No, no. This is an ideal world where everybody has the same and has sufficient resources to live without working. This is like paradise. This will never happen. Though it's companies only patent things and only do innovation when they really can earn money with it. So this is the underlying motivation. And if you take this away, if you say, oh, now patents are freely available for everybody, and then companies will stop to invest. They will stop to earn money. They will not have money to invest in other things. And then we fall back into dark ages. This will not happen. However, I think there are some very special areas where this will be used or applied, and which was already applied. So I think if we talk about really, really big challenges such as worldwide diseases, then companies are open and also receive, I think, funding from governments to disclose or to allow patents to be used by others in order to solve these really huge challenges. For instance, from a disease that is threatening everybody, and because then an individual company would not be able to serve the whole market very fast, and there I think it's this is a rare case where companies would do this, but they need to receive some reward for it, and this was also done in the past. Same is true for problems where we talk about climate warming and environmental problems. Then I think companies are open to share things. But again, they will need some kind of reward. It not necessarily has to be financially, maybe also just by reputation, that you say company X has developed this and is openly sharing it with everybody. And then maybe they get such a good reputation for it that clients are buying the products from this company because they have a very good reputation. But I think this is only very, very special things that are very urgent to solve. But in the normal world, it's you want to harvest the fruits of the trees that you have planted. And this is right. Because we have seen in history, when you stop doing this, that this is a recipe for failure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cannot agree more on that. That's true. Okay, I guess it's time for our final announcement for everyone who will see this. Christoph is offering a free chapter from his recent book, and the chapter is, of course, connected to patents and intellectual property, and it is called Patent Harvest, Maximizing the Fruits of Innovation. So, Christoph, maybe you can tell a little bit about this chapter.
Yeah, it's there. I'm just sharing the ways how you could make money from IP, and it's I would not say a cookbook. It's more a structured information given there on those things, which may give the idea to readers, to inventors, to smaller companies, how they could commercialize and harvest the fruits of their innovation. And of course, it's not complete. It's only just to give you some ideas and to help you structure your work. And I would advise you to get in contact with an expert in that field in case you are thinking in selling your idea or your innovation, just to assure that you really get out of it what you could, and not just what is offered to you, and that you are not underselling your brilliant idea.
Yeah. And to get this chapter, all you need to do is just to text Christoph or I on LinkedIn, and you will be able to find our links under this video in description. I will share it. And yeah, just text us and we will provide you a PDF with this chapter. Meanwhile, thank you, Christoph. Thank you so much for such an interesting discussion. It was really insightful and very valuable to learn more about intellectual property, about patents, about how to deal with them. And yeah, really appreciate your time for being with me today and talking about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, also. I have loved to talk to you and really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye, Christoph.